Hey, how you doing? This is Frank Brunke. So I want to talk about responsive design for a second. Well, let me first do this. Let me just take a quick jump back and explain to you what responsive design is all about. The thought behind responsive design is you create an application once, and that the application will be smart enough to understand the device that's reading or viewing the application and will then conform itself to the platform it's being used on. So that way the application itself stays. So actually, there's a creation of the application hopefully once. There this conduit which then transforms the data to the device that's actually looking at the content, and that's in theory what responsive design is all about. The theory really isn't all that new. It just sort of seems to be that buzzword that's going around, and I just had a question about it, so I wanted to just sort of just quickly talk about it. The theory also too is responsive design can also be used. There's a lot of applications that can be used to create. Okay, anyway. So is responsive design going to stick around? That was sort of the question that came up was, is it going to stay or will it go? Now, when I first started to think about it, I was like, you know what? The theory behind it, well, the buzzword or whatever it's going to be, I originally thought, I'm like, well, no, you know what? It's going to go away because we have things like the stores. We have these stores, for Android and for Apple, where you can go in and buy an application. The more I was thinking about it, I'm thinking, as we have internet access available to us more and more, the stores, I believe, are going to go away. So that we actually are going to see responsive design in more areas, and it's going to be more widely accepted. But here's the problem. It has to be more than just something that's said, but actually something that's implemented, right? Because you as a viewer are going to see some really great applications and some very bad applications. What's going to have to happen is the web applications and the mobile applications are going to have to come together. There's going to come a time when we're going to have internet access 99.99% of the time. So that instead of actually having apps installed, we're just going to be viewing web applications. So that there has to be a new word for walled garden, because that's probably what's going to happen. You're going to have access to an application, and then to get, let's say, more features out of it, you're going to have to go down, pay 99 cents or whatever it be to gain full access to that app. Now, yeah, this is going to be, there's a lot of challenges that are involved in that. I certainly know. But I was sort of just working it out, thinking about what do I think the future of that's going to be. And I certainly would like to hear. I want to hear, what your thoughts are. And that's sort of why I just wanted to record it really quickly, that way I can capture it. So to recap what I'm thinking here, right, is the theory of responsive design, whether it keeps that keyword or not, or that catchphrase. The Apple stores and the Android stores, those stores are going to have a lifespan. Where actually I thought responsive design was going to have a lifespan, I actually was thinking about it more and more. There's going to be this there's going to be this push-pull kind of thing. The consumers are going to want to be away from the stores. The developers obviously want to keep the stores. But it's going to be the consumers that are sort of going to hopefully have a say as far as what the future of whatever we're doing here is going to be all about. So responsive design is going to be something that's going to be very, very important to be utilized, going forward, from now and going forward. I mean, yes, it's not something brand new. HTML5 definitely brought it up. And, again, CSS was, just another way, to do this, way back when. So definitely want to hear what you have to say. I mean, do you think that the lifespan of the stores is limited as we start to get more access? And that way you would just, let's say, go to a website, and I'll just say frankbruncke.com. Not saying I'm going to do it, but at frankbruncke.com, for example, and you would have a list of features that are available to you. And if you want to obtain more features, go past this walled garden. I say that sort of with air quotes, right? Because the term walled garden has to go away, and I think that's probably what's going to be hampering it, is a new, better, consumer-friendly name has to come out for this path to happen. Because now you sort of really are truly doing responsive design. Because now if you're on your phone, your 7-inch, your 10-inch, your whatever it is, whatever the device is that you're using, your desktop, your laptop, whatever the device is, you're now going to one single source. So now the content is available to you wherever you want to go. Across all the different platforms, you don't have to worry about installing the app. You just log in and then gain all the resources you have. That's where the future is really going to have to be, and that's where I definitely think it's going to be. So yes, responsive design is going to be around. It's going to have to stick around, but it's really up to the developers to just sort of find a way to really make this happen. I understand on the application development side, this is a whole different thing, because there still comes that time, well, no, there is the time right now where you have to create an application specifically for the store that it's sitting in. Let's be honest, right? The developers want to make money. So they're going to put in Apple first, so they don't get any, bad kudos points. It's going to be developed out there. It's going to be launched into the Apple ecosystem. Then it's going to hopefully find it in the Play Store soon after that, and then the Microsoft Store shortly after that as well. Because that way, from the consumer side, if they want to use a tool, they can have it available on all the different platforms, but those stores have a lifespan. Now, Apple and the different vendors, Google and Microsoft, want to have the stores. Because if responsive design definitely takes off like it does, or should, those tools go away, and obviously the revenue model changes for them as well. So anyway, just want to shoot that out there. Again, I really want to hear what you have to say. I really appreciate your time. Hope you have a great day.